If I fall asleep, it's not like in a cage. You might flip over a couple times, but you have way more opportunities and probabilities of making it out alive
Yeah,
than in a bike.
You're gonna in one you're gonna land in a trauma center. On the other one, you're gonna land in the
In a
funeral home.
box.
Yeah, so you're gonna be in a box. There's no coming back from
Falling
now.
asleep on a bike, forget about it. So again, right? And that's happened to me. That was that time. And then from then on, if I'm tired, if I'm mentally not acute, I'll take a minute. I'll take a stop. I'll stop for some gas. I'll go to the bathroom, throw some water on my face. And if I need to take a nap, I'll take a nap. Welcome back to Unfiltered Garage. How are you doing? What's going on?
Doing good, buddy. We just finished a nice episode. We were talking about family, how to balance family, motorcycle club.
Fake and full throttle.
That was the name of the episode. It was an epic one, but it was a good one. What are we discussing today?
Today we're talking about health. Dealing with the physical demand of riding our motorcycles.
Yeah,
Physical
and mental.
This is not only physical.
And this is
right?
something that is kind of new to both of us, right? We're going to try to encourage people to get ready. But when you ask a person to draw or create a biker, it's someone that is, if you show the picture of a biker, or you think, hey, this is how a biker looks like. Someone that is old and have 10,000 health problems. Someone that is overweight, whose sugar is not in control, someone that is battling diabetes and
They got doubts.
another autoimmune problem.
Well, again, it all depends. I think it all depends on who you're asking.
Yeah.
There's different pictures, right? Because if you think sports bike, crotch rocket, they're thinking maybe somebody that's more younger and more is built, and kind of, they're in shape or whatever. And then if you talk about Harleys, you're going to talk about the older man.
The older man.
Exactly.
Yes, and then you ask some people, hey, what are the demands of riding a motorcycle? People think that there's no demands of riding a motorcycle, and you're so mistaken. Let me read something for you. What riding motorcycles does to you, right? And the demand that it creates. So, riding a motorcycle burns about 200 to 300 calories per hour, depending on factors like riding style, terrain, and the size of the bike. For people that ride adventure bikes, it is around 500 calories per hour.
There you go.
You're not fat, you just don't ride enough.
That is absolutely right.
It requires a lot of core and upper body engagement, especially when you are riding in conditions that are windy and at high speed, right?
Texas riders.
It requires leg strength. Your legs play a critical role in stabilizing the bike, especially when stopping, starting, and maneuvering at slow speeds.
Oh, yeah.
You also engage in legs when controlling the foot brake and gear shift. And people say that's just a movement. My man, do that for an hour. And something that you mentioned, mental fatigue and focus. Riding demands high levels of focus and mental sharpness to navigate traffic, road hazards, and changing weather conditions.
100%. I agree. That's money.
So listen to this one. Impact on your heart rate.
Yeah.
A study by Yamaha Motor Company found that motorcycle riding increases riders' heart rates by 20 to 50%, depending on the intensity of the ride. This is similar to the cardiovascular load experienced during moderate physical activity, meaning like you're lifting weights. It's pretty similar to that. I'm not gonna lie to you, when I have done it, that I'm going to weight myself before going on a long, 3 days ride or something like that. And when I come back, I'm at least 3 to 4 pounds lighter. To that study, you're not eating the same. You have to change the way that you eat. Because as is recent, I've been working out, going to the gym, doesn't show, but I've been going to the gym, I started going with Bam Bam. Shout out to Bam Bam again. We need to get it on
How can we get them on? We'll have to do something.
It's getting annoying at this point, bro. It's getting annoying because it's been in every single episode. I started going to the gym because of him and different purposes. I needed a way to release the stress that was not the motorcycle because I couldn't ride every single day, and it proved that it was amazing. You have some health challenges and some health some red flags that your doctor caught. You went through something like that before going full deep into that. It was a wake-up call, and you decided to join me at the gym.
And no, you had been telling me for the longest time.
Yeah.
And I was really being, I was just being irresponsible, actually. There's no other, I mean, I was just, lackadaisic.
Yeah.
Maybe, I have to. I should. But, coulda, shoulda, woulda type of deal.
Will you say that have improved a little bit your riding in the short time that you've been going to the gym?
Well, you know what? I would say that it has helped me not only with my riding, but in general, right? Because again, riding-wise, I never had the problem. I didn't feel weak or achy after long rides. But really, the truth is that it's not all about just feeling achy. It's the health implications to it, right? So definitely I can tell you that I feel better. And I haven't been on a long ride since I've been working out with you. But I have Daytona coming up and then probably some other rides, and I'll be able to tell you. I'm sure it will be. It's a positive thing. I mean, there's really no negatives to working out other than maybe sacrificing a little bit of sleep, which again, right, it happens.
It's part of
the process.
For me, has been, this because when we used to ride together,
I know for sure that you have benefited a lot.
a lot. I have a jacked up back, 2 herniated discs and whatnot, and losing weight, but not only losing weight, getting a stronger core has helped me to extend the time that I can be on the saddle.
Yeah.
So in that sense, I don't have to stop whenever I feel pain. I need to stop. We're stopped for gas now when we ride Harley. So for me, 200 miles is stretching the tank. I don't like to do that. I like to refill when we have 150 miles in.
I think it's important that we establish that 150 miles is well over 2 hours.
Yeah.
And that's something that some people may not equate, right? They think, oh, well, 2 hours, because they think 2 hours in a car is nothing or not as hard. But 2 hours on a bike, it's a whole other world.
It's completely different. You're fighting the weather, you're fighting the trucks, you're fighting so many things. The elements when you're on an expressway or you're going 70 miles per hour plus, and you can stop and drink water. You cannot, you don't do that. There's so many things, but I can tell you that to me has been a blessing. The last long ride that I did, I forgot, and because I couldn't ride, we have a backrest, something I forgot my backrest, and
how'd that go?
Man, I remember that I didn't have a backrest when I needed to put my helmet somewhere. I used to use the backrest to put the helmet. Oh, it's not here. Wow. I don't need it. So I don't need it anymore. It was awesome.
That's phenomenal, man.
Yeah, the press conference has been good. So it has made me a different rider, most definitely. Remember, at the gym, you asked me once, we were doing a leg exercise. I said, why are we doing this? You'll feel it whenever you have to hold that tank.
Yes.
Because you're going faster. You're going to have more control of the bike, and you're going to feel it. So for you, what are the physical challenges, like, demands, the ones that for you specifically, you get with riding?
Weak.
Physical demand.
Just being on the bike for prolonged amounts of time, you start getting tired, right? Your back. And it has a lot to do with not only the physical condition that I'm in, but also the riding positions. Much like, because again, right, when you think about it, riding motorcycle is a sport. People, they don't always equate it as a sport. It is kind of a sport because the physical demands. But every sport has a technique, and this is something that I've been learning a lot with you at the gym, because you'll correct me, hey, do you put your position here, you got to pull your weight here, push there, be this way so that it can be more effective. So in the same way, even the riding style has had to adjust, right? The physical aspects of it, my back, the core aspect of it. After a couple 100 miles, I don't feel as weak. This part of it. And even for shorter rides, when I want to be more demanding on my skills, I feel that I'm good.
They're more in control.
Even for shorter rides. Because when you're gunning it, you need to hold on tight, right?
Yeah. You can throw the motorcycle, turn around.
And throwing around a 700, 800, 900 pound bike,
it's not easy.
It's not easy. So yeah, definitely, I think that it's been a help, and I'm looking forward to riding. And I rode Let me see. The other day I put in 4 hours of riding. I went up to Port St. Lucie, came back. To be honest, I felt great. I didn't feel as tired. I can only attribute that to working out, building the stamina. Because we go to the gym every day or whenever we get the opportunity to go, at least every other day at the least. And again, it's an hour of huffing and puffing, you know, pushing and pulling and doing all that good stuff. And like you said, I'm coming out of a health situation. Oh, I'll explain a little bit more in a minute. But yeah, after that, I remember I was kind of like, wait a minute, man, I gotta slow down. I'm feeling kind of funky. But, you know, as I keep on working, it gets better. You know,
It gets better. It gets better. You're doing much better, most definitely. For me, the biggest challenge of riding motorcycle, physically, it is not so much physical, it's mentally. And I'm just going to
unpack this.
Yeah, on my behalf, right? Because when I'm tired, I get really stupid. And I start riding stupid. I start riding really fast because if I ride faster, I'm going to make it sooner to my destination so I can rest. So I lose control when I ride, and I call that riding stupid. I have made this a rule that when I'm 30 miles away from my house, if I'm riding solo, of course, I reduce the pace because I don't want to ride stupid, because that's when I get really comfy.
Yeah.
And comfy and being cocky on the motorcycle is your biggest enemy.
That's a recipe for disaster.
It's a disaster. So for me, being tired makes me an idiot of a rider, because I try to compensate. I'm tired, but I'm going to make it on time. I'm going to save 20 minutes trying to beat the clock. And that is a dangerous game to play, right?
So very dangerous.
So working out and going to the gym, not only going to the gym where, you know, I have changed the way that I eat, and you're doing the same, right? So it's trying to eat healthier, try to include more water on your, you know, on your intake. We don't go to the gym just to get some reps going. We go to destroy our bodies. So it's more in here than in your body per se. The mental fortitude and
self-control, which sounds like self-control, awareness.
Yes, but I will say this is a, you know, when I'm riding and I'm tired, I say, dude, I mean, but you're benching this much. Why are you tired? Of the wind hitting you?
Yeah.
And I said, really? You can't. Like, oh my God. Yeah, dude, like, what? You destroy yourself this Monday on doing this. And I remember, you know, so it helps me a lot too. It helped me a lot on that sense. And this is kind of like a pretty awesome segue to our next point. You mentioned a word. Part of what people do not understand is that we need to be alert. We need to be focused. We need to be. It's not about just the endurance of your body, but you get distracted pretty easy. You can get distracted pretty easy, and when you're tired, you get distracted. Your mind starts wandering.
Yeah. So let's look at it this way: when we're at the gym, right, and we're doing a bench press or any type of movements, we're stressing ourselves, right? We need to pay attention to the technique. If not, we're just injuring ourselves.
Beautifully.
Right? We're gonna injure ourselves, and we're not really building the muscle properly. And again, mind you, I mean, if you were to see us without our shirts, you'd say you guys are liars. You don't got a shirt. But it's a process, just so that you know, it's a process. Rome wasn't built in a day. Just pay attention. When we are riding, we need to pay attention because technique matters. What we're doing matters. I want to get there. You're not paying attention because you're trying to go fast, you're trying to cut a corner. You make a lane change without looking properly. Before you know it, you're on the side of the road because somebody ran into you, right? Because you're not paying it. That's why I love the fact that you mentioned when I'm tired. When we're tired in the gym, that's when we need to pay attention to our form the most. And we need to slow it down, because if we're just pumping out reps, we're gonna injure ourselves. And I will never forget this. I said, to the point of failure. You said, nah, bro, you're talking about to the point of injury. Be careful. So again, when we're riding, we have to pay attention, be mindful, and take it easy like we do at the gym. It's one at a time, breathe in, breathe out, and the result is going to be there. The final result for us is getting home safe.
It's funny when you mentioned that because being mindful of the technique and being mindful when you're tired, right? And I discovered this recently because my daughter is driving. Mom is doing a fantastic job, but I'm being part of the process. I started teaching her when she was 14. And something that I discovered myself, when I'm tired, my U-turns are crap. Why? Because I don't want to turn my head. I don't want to do the proper technique. There is people that are you're a natural rider. For you, riding comes natural. For me, riding is a lot of technique. I have to train. Every single year, I have to sign up for a police kind of technique, slow maneuvers, because I need that refresher. I normally have to train a lot. I have to train my motorcycle a lot.
Practice makes permanent.
For me, it is important. There's people that are just naturally good at it. As a sport, I enjoy it and I know my challenges. So my worst, and when I'm turning like an idiot, that I'm just, I took all the lane, and mind you, we're riding handlebar to handlebar. Yeah. It's because I'm tired. I don't want to do the proper technique, and I know there's a proper technique. I've been telling my daughter the following: when she takes a turn and she lands on the other lane, and she say, "That was lazy." What is lazy? You didn't want it to turn. You didn't put your 100% on that turn. I need you to put 100%. Being tired prevents you to give you 100% in every single mile. And this is something that if you're not going to give you 100%, don't do it. Step out. You're going to injure yourself. You're going to cause an accident. You want to get home.
It's knowing your limits. Sometimes when we're riding, I mean, it's happened to me. I've had moments where literally, listen, man, I was coming down from West Palm one day. I went on a ride, a hog ride, and boom, I'm just coming back. I think this was maybe the second and third time in my life that this had happened to me. I fell asleep while riding. Now, this is incredible because you would think, how can you fall asleep while riding a motorcycle? I didn't have my cruise control on. Immediately, I had loud pipes. So as soon as my hand eased off the throttle because I was falling asleep, what did I hear? I heard the and I was like, well, and of course, the lunge forward, right? Because I'm engine braking now. And this is on the turnpike. Immediately, what did I do? I recognized the fact you need a stop. I stopped off at the Pompano gas station. I had a bite to eat, sat for 15, 20 minutes, threw some water on my face, and I was ready to go for another, how many ever miles from Pompano down to Homestead.
It's 67 miles.
It is super important to be mindful of your limitations. And if you're tired, take 20. 20 minutes there, I had a bite to eat, some soda, wash my face, and that probably saved my life. Because if I fall asleep, it's not like in a cage. You might flip over a couple times, but you have way more opportunities and probabilities of making it out alive than in a bike.
You're gonna in one, you're gonna land in a trauma center. On the other one, you're gonna land in the funeral home. You're gonna be in a box. There's no coming back from now.
Sleep on a bike, forget about it. So again, right, and that's happened to me. That was that time, and then from then on, if I'm tired, if I'm mentally not acute, I'll take a minute. I'll take a stop. I'll stop for some gas. I'll go to the bathroom, throw some water on my face. And if I need to take a nap, I'll take a nap. I'll take a nap on the side of the road.
Whatever it takes.
Any gas station is a good place. I mean, shout out to Critter. I love to see when he takes off his boots. He gets real comfortable on the side of the road. And why? Well, because that is just relaxation time. And I've learned in my job, because I drive a lot. Sometimes I have to drive from the West Coast to the East Coast at all times of night, especially when we're doing overnight work. Sometimes a power nap of 20 minutes will give me enough gas to go for another 100 or 200 miles. Just a power nap. But I have to take the time. And I can't avoid it. If I try to avoid it, really, there's no avoiding it, actually. It's just, it's delaying the inevitable, which is running off the road.
It's so important that you mentioned knowing your limits, right? From other club or organizations, some guys were giving crap to another guy from another organization, right? Like, we're going to, I don't want to mention the event because they'll find out. But they were saying, no, we're going to go to this event and we're going to ride and we're just going to go there and we're going to, man, they developed the stamina to go there. And this guy's been riding for 20 years, 20 years now. So this
Seasoned.
Seasoned. He's a seasoned rider. He says, I don't ride like that. I stop. And I'm going to split the riding. And he was giving me advice. I said, split the ride. And the guy said, oh, but you're not right. I said, no. Absolutely. Because I'm a rider, I understand that the people don't ride. So I don't want to be the people. I don't want to be an idiot. A couple things that I do, for instance, if I'm going to ride and I know I'm going to ride, I need sugar does a number of my body. My joints start hurting and hurting. So I just don't do it because I'm cutting riding time. That's what I'm doing. I'm cutting riding time. For me, I don't want to do it. It's not in your body. So what is what we're doing? What is what we're doing right now to, we mentioned the gym, but what is what we're doing? What is what we start doing? And you and I, in terms of taking care of our health.
Well, in my case, right, and I think I mentioned this in episode 1 or episode 2, I'm a diabetic, type 2 diabetic, and add to that, I recently got some hardware in one of my coronary arteries, the little stent. Shout out to Dr. Dariwana. He did a great job. What I've been doing is that I have been biohacking my system. I have a constant glucose monitor, and I've been measuring what I'm eating and how it affects my body. How does it work with my sugar? How does it, those peaks and lows? I have to work with that because I want to learn the do's and don'ts for my condition, right? And again, like you say, if you have sugar, you start aching, praise God, that doesn't happen to me, but I don't want to deal with the other side effects of high sugar. So that's one of the things that I've been doing. I've been trying to eat better and of course working out. That working out for me, it's been key. Not only to lose some weight, which I need to lose, but also to strengthen and be in a better condition. I'm 47. My goal is that by 50, I don't look like I'm 65. My hair doesn't help because it's pretty white already. So I need to work with what I can. Other than that, it's just being mindful of what I have going on.
Awesome. So yeah, more or less, I've been doing kind of the same. Because of health conditions, many years ago, I changed the way that I eat. I have a sugar problem as well. And it's not diabetes.
I wanted to mention this. 12% of the U.S. population has
diabetes.
12%.
That's a handsome number.
And it's increased.
That's a pandemic.
It's serious. And again, diabetes is a chronic illness. For those people that ride that are diabetic, we have to pay a lot of attention because we don't heal as well. So if we go down, we have problems. My brother-in-law, he's a very good rider. He rides with Lama, shout out to Bossman. And he works in prosthetics. And this is an interesting number. 70% of all amputations, if I'm not mistaken, below the knee, are diabetes related.
Yeah, I see it.
So I see it. It's hard to be on 2 wheels when all you have is a prosthetic.
Yeah, I can see
Throw one of these big boys around. Not impossible, but all this to say that we need to pay attention to these conditions that we have. Be it diabetes or high blood pressure, cardiac issues, coronary problems. All these things take away from the possibilities of us being able to ride longer.
So I'm going to share something with you, which is important to me. At the beginning of the year, I started reading a book by Craig Rochelle. I'll find out later. I'll put it on. I'm gonna put it on social media. And it's about change. One of the things that Craig Rochelle mentions is that you need to find your why. And for the longest time, I share with one of my brothers, and this dude, he's no longer doing it, but he was Ironman. He ran, those triathlons and that kind of stuff. He was super in shape. So I share with him my workouts. Every time you see me saving my workouts, is because I'm gonna send him a text message as a way to make myself accountable. And he does the same. Whenever he goes work out, he does the same. But man, I was asking him, we were talking about you need to find your why. What is the reason you're doing this for? What is the reason? I was sitting on my patio, having a cup of coffee on a Saturday morning, reading the Word of God. One of those Saturday mornings that I plan to try. And this is my why, and I want to share with you. This is my personal why. My why is because I want to be able to play with my grandkids. I want to be able to be a fool and a clown with those kids and get on the floor and just toss around with them, going to their events and being part of their life. But at the same time, I want to just, after being playing with the kids, I just want to grab my motorcycle and go for a ride so I can meet up my wife and just have a great night with her. That's my why. And that's the reason why I'm working out. That's the reason why I changed the way that I eat. That's my why.
No, that's phenomenal. Again, right? It's important because we mentioned this in episode 3. We only have a certain amount of summers, winters, springs, and falls with our kids and family. I always tell my wife, because we have 4 dogs, and I'm always on her case because she loves to give them food. Dogs are hungry all the time and like to beg. And she feels bad when she doesn't give them snacks and treats. But I tell her, if a dog is 20% overweight, we cut their lifespan by 2 years. Imagine, that's a dog. And I'm thinking, I don't want these dogs to die. We tell the dogs that they have to be here until the rapture. But what about us? What does the overweight do to us? You know, being overweight, and again, I'm not extremely overweight. I have a couple extra pounds. But it was a huge wake up when I went to the doctor and he's like, yeah, we got to put in a stent. And I'm like, yo, I'm 47. What are you talking about stents? You know, but that's what's up.
Yeah, I had that attack when I was 40.
There you go. You had a heart attack when you were 40. I'm putting in stents. You had 4 stents.
I don't like odd numbers.
And let me tell you something. When I was having my situation, the other person that came to mind, I was like, Ozzy had this problem. Younger than me, let me go get checked out. Praise God. Went through the process. They found what they found. Preemptively, I didn't go through that process that you did. What are we talking about? We're talking about how long are we going to be around? And again, the quality of life. What are we going to be doing? I will never forget Aladdin said, it's not about dying, but it's what you have to live through. And you can live through a lot of things, but now really, is it quality of life, or are you just hobbling through life? Nobody wants that. Nobody wants to be, you know, having kids and grandkids and, you know, oh, let me limp. I mean, again, if you have to limp, hey man, limp. Hobble. Just do but if you can try to avoid it, do everything you can. Time is unforgiving. It goes and it doesn't. You can't get back. We are in a prime position to seize the day today, not tomorrow. We don't know if tomorrow's gonna be here.
No promise.
Regret is terrible. It's a terrible thing.
As Christian men, we take this verse out of context, and I took this verse out of context and I tried to finagle the meaning of it so it wouldn't fade.
You massaged it.
Yes.
You massaged
it was my own version of the Bible. And it says 1 Corinthians 6:19-20, where it says that the body is the temple of the Holy Spirit. And I was like, no, it's talking about your physical body. It's talking about your body. It's talking about, and listen, I had some people that criticizes me because I have tattoos. I mean, are you putting graffitis in the temple of the Lord? So man, yeah, at least I'm not putting McDonald's.
Exactly.
So,
well, take it easy. We're making these, but
what are you putting? I mean, they're criticizing what I put in outside, no, but they don't see, you know, what they're putting inside. So, I think that we have a mandate as Christian men to last longer, so we can keep being kingdom builders. So for us, it's important for Christian men. I remember being in a conference with a guy that was probably 100-something pounds overweight. And he's talking about faith and blessings. I never believed when he was saying faith and blessings, because you don't look really blessed. You look overweight. You look sick. Obesity is a sickness, right? So that's what I was receiving from him.
Morbid.
It's morbid.
It's not even obese.
So man, it was like, what are we talking about here? And the guy had the audacity to ask, who wants to come for prayer? I'm going to pray for you. I'm going to create healing. God is healing in here. So, oh, he's not touching you? What's going on? So I think
try not to laugh here. You're right. before you extend your hand, why don't you go ahead and touch your own?
I think he didn't do it, so because it was a Pentecostal church.
Maybe
and
couldn't reach.
he couldn't reach. No, he was being mindful of the usher. If he goes down, who picks him up? Who's gonna pick him up?
Somebody's gonna throw their back.
Yeah.
And this is interesting because again, there's a difference. People might think, oh, but what if you have a condition? Well, you can have a condition, but let's talk about it. We live in a country that is battling obesity. We're not the perfect picture of health in the sense that we have a couple of pounds overweight, but when you go into 100 feet, 100 and change, you got people that are really, really battling serious complications because of what they throw down their gully. And again, I enjoy Bill Burr. He's a comedian, and he talks a lot about it, because they say, oh, but I mean, again, you're throwing down not a burger, you're throwing down 2 and 3 burgers. So it's just a matter of control, because that is something you can control. It's just eat less. That's all it is. So is that a condition, self-control? And I don't think so. It's just you like food, and that's fine. But man, how much? So just control that.
It's funny that you mentioned the burgers because at a season of my life, I said to myself the following: if you cannot say no to a burger, what is telling you that you cannot say no to a lady that doesn't belong to you?
Oh yeah.
That is not your wife. So I equate it to that.
Self-control.
Self-control. Yeah, and it's
Self-dominion.
Yeah, it's self-control. So listen, let's move into the same topic. Some tips about how to start this process, how to start. And yeah, you can't buy books, you can go ahead and buy protein powder, but do whatever the heck you want. What I'm going to tell you is don't procrastinate. One day can become day one. That will happen to you. One day can become day one. You kept on giving me the one day until you shut up.
Bro, I was like Annie.
Yeah.
Tomorrow.
And one day you shut up, man. And you're on our left. So one day don't procrastinate. You can start, and you don't have to have Mr. Olympia body tomorrow or anything like that. But you can start, and there's simple things that you can do, man. For me, the most important thing is that I stop eating outside. I know for you it's difficult because you work on the field. But if I don't plan what I'm going to eat, I'm going to have a problem. I know what I'm eating tomorrow. And by the way, I cook because I like food.
You're the meal prepper.
Yes. I like to cook, I like food. So because of that, I try to control the ingredients. So my daughters, they don't have a school lunch. We send them lunch. So what I cook goes for this. So I know that tomorrow I'm gonna have chicken fajitas. And on Tuesday, we're gonna have some sort of Asian chicken. And on Wednesday, who knows, because we have the hurricane coming, but I try to prep. For me, I try to control that. I know that for you, with the diabetes, you carry around some snacks as well. You do that.
Yeah. Well, what I do is, since I've been on the glucose monitor, the CGM, that's helped me a lot because I know already what I can eat that's not gonna work against me. I try to keep my sugar
That's
right.
That's awesome.
You know what? I praise God for it because again,
That's awesome.
This is where technology comes into play, right? This helps me. I know I can have a certain meal and it's not going to be detrimental. I've also been able to identify I have to stay away from French bread from Publix. I got to stay away from it like the plague. They have a Chicago roll, a Chicago bread. It's awesome. I have to stay away from it because the concentration of flour in it just blows up my sugar. Yet I can have the baguette or a certain meal, even if it's fast food. I can go to Subway and I know the portion that I can eat that's gonna keep me in a healthy range. And that's my trick. That's like my little biohack. I pack in my truck, I have water, I have certain things that I carry with me because I can always snack. I think that be it the prepping, which is phenomenal, or identifying what you can have, that's the trick, right? That's a detail. Now, you mentioned something super important, which is don't procrastinate. I want to just pile on that. Yes, today is the first day. See it like that. You have to start someday.
And you have to
Why
start
not
somewhere,
today?
right? Yeah.
And again, it's not about being Mr. Olympia. I agree with that 100%. There's an individual on YouTube that mentions if you go to the gym, you work out today, you work out tomorrow, you work out for a week, you may not see anything. That doesn't mean nothing's happening. You keep on doing it, eventually you will see progress. So I think that that is what's really important, which is start. And even if it just means getting up and getting to the gym. I remember Bam Bam, shout out Bam Bam. He told me, just get there. Just get there. If you do some exercise, that's awesome. Just make an effort to get there. Get out of bed. That's a small way. Baby steps. We get there. And now you're doing exercise. Maybe you do 2 or 3 body exercise, whatever it is, right? You focus on whatever you're focusing on. Then you go home. If that's 20, 30 minutes, awesome. You don't have to be there for 2 or 3 hours a session, right? But if you're consistent, and that is what has really been my focus. My focus is I have to show up. Even if I put 100% in, or if all I have for that day is 50%.
Because not every single day is a beautiful one, right? Like,
It's not going to be a record-breaking day. And again, the app that you recommended, Heavy, I believe it is a phenomenal app. And it's free. You don't have to spend a lot of money. And if you don't have the money for a gym, that's not an excuse. Go out and walk 45 minutes.
Yeah.
And if you can't walk 5, walk 10 minutes. 10 minutes today, 10 minutes tomorrow. It will be gradually increasing.
So that's an awesome segue. What do you think? By the way, guys, thinking that we need to bring someone like you into this conversation.
Yeah, sure.
Boys, there's a brother from the crew, which is a motorcycle club here, that he does performance training for athletes. I say this as a sport. It will be good to have him here, but we're not experts by all means. But what would you recommend for people to do as an exercise? What would you say, man? In the little knowledge that we have, in the limited knowledge that we have, what would you recommend to do as an exercise?
Well, I know that if you're dealing with the problems that I deal with, which is blood sugar, diabetes, weight training is key to burn that sugar. It'll help you with your triglycerides, which is something I battle with. So weight training is key. The why I enjoy the weight training is because I know that it's working on what I need to work. Mm-hmm. For some people, it might be cardio.
Yeah.
Right? For that cardiovascular workout. Me, I like the weight training. I like the fact that I can put in an hour and I know that it is
I will say that for a biker, it is important to do some sort of a resistant training. Weight will be one of those, Pilates, or whatever you find.
Pilates?
Whatever you find in
Never
your
done it.
Well, it's hard. Whatever you find in your town or around you is important. Cardio is important, it's good. But most definitely, and especially if you ride one of these babies that is 700 plus pounds or easily 900 pounds, you need some strength.
Anybody that's had the bike go down on them, just drop it in a parking lot, whatever. You slipped on a banana peel and boom, you went down.
Bro, forget about it.
You gotta put in heavy effort to get that bike up.
And yeah, there's a technique and everything, but you really, yeah.
Even if you're, how many times have you not even dropped the bike, but it's kind of wanna go down? You gotta muscle, you gotta power your way. I will never forget, I saw one time, Buffalo, shout out to Buffalo and Broy, they had an electric glide, a police, full dresser, and my man, Buffalo, he braked, but he had the wheel turn.
Yeah.
Right. So
and he used the front brake. Yeah.
Immediately he was going down.
Yeah, but
and this guy, at full dresser, his wife on the back, he was able to hold that bike and lift it up. I was so impressed. I was like, yo, this guy's a beast.
Right. Yeah.
Because again, with the passenger, that was no small feat.
So
and it was on the road. We were going down to the Keys.
I think it was close to Cafe 27 and we're 75.
No, that's happened more than once. It happened more than once. It's tough.
It's
and you
tough.
gotta have that upper body. You have to have the legs in good shape. If you don't, forget about it. You're going down.
Something for me has been stretching. I do stretch a lot because of my back problems, but because of my back problems, stretching is something that I have incorporated to my routine and something that has helped me a lot. Normally, you go to the gym, usually I don't stretch at the gym because I stretch at home. You see that people go, they just take off and nobody stretches. Nobody has that time for helping your body to recover. So I think that for us, for bikers, stretching is really important.
Yeah.
And being consistent, right? Like I do, being consistent is important because you are doing more damage to your body and then going back, you're breaking your body.
Yeah, no, it always gets harder. I can
Gets
tell
harder.
you, it's happened to me. Like, cause I started working out before I had the medical intervention, the most recent one. I remember I took maybe a week or two off after the fact, and when I went back, it wasn't as I was like, yo, I'm feeling it again. Because the first time I went there after I don't know, God knows how long, I was wrecked for about a week and a half. Then my body started getting used to it. I took that 2-week hiatus. And then recently when I went, I had to do something work related. The last workout, I felt it hard because I hadn't been going consistently. So again, I think that keyword consistency is
Super
because,
important.
again, it keeps you in that movement. It keeps you in that growth.
It's something that it becomes part of you, right? So you made it part of what you do. This is not something that you do. This is who you are. There's another aspect of health that, although it's publicly more open to discuss, we don't talk about that much, and it's mental health. And I think those exercises you need to work on here as well. One of the things I say is I will work out so I won't be on the news at 11 because I killed someone on the road.
Yeah.
For me, it's important.
Yes.
I have a series of things that I practice normally that help me with this. This is my team. After I come from the gym, I get the girls ready. We go pretty early in the morning. We go we show up at 5 o'clock in the morning. So after that, I come home, help my wife with the kids, getting them ready for school. I brew a cup of coffee, and I pray and read my Bible. That puts me in a mental stage. It's what people call ness. Being aware present for me is prayer and reading my Bible. For me, it's extremely important. It's part of my workout routine. I don't feel that I finish my workout if I haven't read my Bible. And I do that every single day.
Yes.
I don't work out every day, but I read my Bible every day. Something else for me is recreation. One of the things that I find really amazing is just sitting in my patio with a cup of coffee, a good book, and a cigar. And it's just me, no cell phone. It's just me. And it's just reading, having a good smoke, and a good cup of coffee. So I do that. What do you do?
Yeah,
Do you do any of those?
For me, what I like to keep me in a kind of an even keel is that and it's interesting because I'm not blanking out, but I will listen to either a podcast or watch something that keeps me entertained because it may be something that I've seen 20 times, but it's just a routine that allows me to keep it light. I like to say I keep it nimble and not too heavy. I don't have to think about it. I've seen this 100 times. Anything that brings me laughter and enjoyment, I'm just enjoying it. I'm in the moment and that's fine, but I'm listening to it. And it just takes me away. It gives me, it's like good music. It disconnects me. And again, this aspect of bringing, Vince Vaughn, he says it in a lot of his movies, is I'm gonna throw it into neutral. Take it easy, idle for a minute.
Yep.
Because when we're riding, we need to be ready and mentally acute. I think that if there's a takeaway from this is that physically we have to be ready, we have to be able, we have to have the stamina to endure the ride, but also we have to have the mental acuity to be aware. Too many accidents happen when you forget what you're doing. I can't stress it enough. When you're riding, you have to be aware. You have to be aware of your surrounding, of the cars that are coming and going, and you have to even anticipate movements. And people would say, how can you read, are you telling the future? It's not telling the future, but what you're doing is you're assuming what can happen because of how cars are.
You can see the movement.
If you're surrounded by cars, you can be sure that somebody at some point is gonna wanna break away.
Mm-hmm.
And when they break away, you can see that there's not enough space. we ride in a crowded city. For me, I always have to be kind of like, what's gonna happen? The only thing I can equate it to is like in the movies, when you're seeing a movie, Sherlock Holmes. When he was doing the fights, he was imagining every movement before it happened.
Yeah.
And then he planned it out and then he executed. The same goes to when we're riding. I plan ahead the movements, I see the cars, and I have to go. I can't wait for somebody to move, because what if they don't move? And now I painted myself into a corner, so to speak. But all that is only available to you and possible when you have the mental acuity. If you don't have the mental acuity for it, and you're dull because you're not there, you're not thinking properly, or maybe you're sleepy because you didn't rest enough, or you had a carb-full lunch and now you're having the sugar crash, and you're riding,
It's dangerous. It's dangerous. It's dangerous.
Yes.
Listen, man, to wrap this thing up, I think that a personal speaking discover, and I want to invite you guys, I'm not an example of health and wellness at all. But what I'm trying to get out of this is, if I could do it, you can do it. It's pretty simple. Find the time, hack yourself, to start finding what works for you. Because what you want to add to your life or to your riding career, you want to add miles on the saddle. No one has a great story going around town. Great story happens when you can really crossing lanes, and that's when real stuff start happening, right? And it's fun, dude. It's fun. You know, in order for you to chase the sunset, you need to have the physical and mental fortitude to do that. So start stretching yourself. And riders, we are bikers. We're used to be in uncomfortable situations. This is another uncomfortable situation. This is just another uncomfortable situation.
100%. I would tell anybody and everybody, go see your doctor. Go see. Right now, we have so many tools available to us. What I'm doing with the constant glucose monitor, that's available to me through technology. But there's a plethora of really good medicine out there. We have access to that, right? If you have access to it, go for it. And I'm talking about all these medicines that are out there. We're not talking about easy ways or cutting corners. No, it's for our benefit. And you can pair a really good medicine to the physical effort of getting out of your comfort zone, because we're all comfortable. I would love to sleep until 7, but I wake up at 4 to be at the gym. That's getting out of my comfort zone. But it's for a purpose, and I know that it's going to be beneficial for myself, and I know that I'm not going to regret it. I regret not doing it before.
Absolutely.
I regret not being healthy, not paying attention to my body way before. But I praise God because I'm doing it now. So do it now. Go seek medical attention. Go get your doctor. Involve him in your plan. Find out. Again, don't wait. A lot of people say, I don't want to know. They're going to beat me over the head because I haven't been mindful. Go through the
Go
plan.
fix it, buddy.
Get the beating. Have your doctor curse you out. That's it. Then you shake hands, hug it out, make a plan, and get better. We can all do it. I praise God that we're in the process. Hopefully, at one point, we'll be a better example, of a better specimen, physically speaking. But even if we're not on the cover of any magazines, I know we're going to feel better, and we're going to be writing better.
Absolutely.
So
absolutely, we're just
get the help. Take advantage.
Just adding life, man, and just extending what we can do. Hey, I hope you like this one. Once again, we're gonna put it out there. We're gonna give you all the social media so you can reach out to us. We discuss an app, a book, a constant glucose monitor. We discussed so many things today. Follow us. Yeah. If this is helping you, share with someone. This is something that you like, and share with someone. If there's something in particular that you want to hear, we're not experts whatsoever. Let us know, man. Let us know.
Let's communicate.
Okay. Thank you so much, and have a good time.
Be blessed.
Bye.